So basically how the series is going to work is I'm going to be watching some Grandmaster games that don't have commentary to them already, and basically break down what's going on in their heads, probably, like, in my opinion, what I think that they're thinking, because when I was asking for ideas for a new series for you guys, you responded with watching some of these high-level games and explaining what's going on in their head, because sometimes you'll see a pro player make an interesting play, but you don't really understand why, but it ends up paying off a little bit later, and you just want to have that kind of insight, and I'm going to try to provide that for you with the knowledge that I've developed over playing this game for a super long time. So without further ado, let's just jump into it. And I may pause at some points to explain some things as well, because they can go pretty fast, but I haven't seen this one yet, so I actually don't know who wins, and I might do the entire thing today in one giant video, without any editing, or I might break it up. I'm not sure yet. I'm probably going to do it all in one giant video, so let's just see how you guys like it. So basically with this guy, I'd keep the entire hand, obviously. Hanar's insane early. Bamboozle and Hanar, or just any secret with Hanar early game is insane, and the Blackjack Stunner, just in case something crazy happens, is a great keep. In this one, Conjurer's Calling is not something that you want to have necessarily early game, obviously. Doomsayer is okay, but I don't necessarily think I'd want to keep it into a rogue matchup. They're not particularly aggressive. You might want to save it for later. They're not going to rush you down, probably, so Reno you can keep, and then Twilight Drake is a dragon. Obviously, you'd keep that. I didn't really talk about it because it was pretty obvious keep to me, as the best neutral card. But Reno I was 50-50 on, personally. But I understand he keeps it because he knows that it's going to be a slower matchup, and basically what I think he's going to want to do is, sorry, I'm pausing it, but basically he's probably going to want to respond to his, Galakrond play if he survives, by playing Reno if he ends up flooding the board with something. In my opinion, that's probably what's going on in his head. The reason why he's playing Hanar here without any fear is because he knows as a mage he has no way of dealing with this immediately, right? Worst case scenario, the Highlander mage player has a Doomsayer, and Bozzzton has at least one turn to get some value secrets out, and with the correct secrets, it might not even be that big of a deal to begin with, right? Or, yeah, depending on what secrets he gets, right? So he knows that, or worst case scenario, Frostbolt. And I don't know the exact deck list of these people, but I'm pretty sure he's not running it, so he knows that this Hanar is safe. And as he knew, his response is just a Fireball, so he's probably going to play a secret here, and then try to discover something. It's blocking this one, but it was Redemption. That was the right choice. So now, if he decides to kill it, he's going to have 2 more mana to get rid of it afterwards. This is a Dirty Tricks, probably, because it's into Mage. He's going to have a lot more spells than he will minions, probably. And he gets more value out of the Dirty Tricks now. Unfortunately, he drew Doomsayer, and now he has a choice here, right? He can either play the Stunner and try to get rid of this, and then Evil Miscreant or something, or maybe even Edwin for a 4/4 early pressure, or you can just go for some more secrets. I might Stunner. Stunner's really important potentially later game for things like Calicos or some of the big minions that he could potentially generate that you might have a hard time dealing with as a rogue. But I'm assuming that since he has Hanar out and he already has tempo going, he's going to want to continue that tempo with the Blackjack Stunner. So I'm assuming it's going to be Blackjack Stunner and then Evil Miscreant and or Edwin Van Cleef. But if he plays a secret, it wouldn't be as good. But I could see him doing that as well and saving the Blackjack Stunner. Okay. So he plays a Stunner, goes face, keeps his 1/3 alive. Evil Miscreant's pretty good as well. The placement here is actually also kind of important. Because now if he has Rolling Fireball and coins it out, if he does it here, this lives, or this lives, and if he has a Shadow Step, both of these minions, in my opinion, generate more resources than a Blackjack Stunner. I'm not sure if he necessarily thought all of that, because it is just really early on, but maybe he did. So this turn for the Mage player, I know he just used a Blackjack Stunner, so I very easily might just play the Twilight Drake, right? And I know that I have to hit, if I do Rolling Fireball, I'd have to put it on this side to kill Hanar, because if I put it here, it won't get to him. And if I do it that way, then this could be Redemption, or it could be the one that if I play a spell gets health, and then I'm screwed, right? So Twilight Drake is just the easiest play right now. He could play the Arcane Breath and ping it and have a little mana left over, but again, that's risky, so probably what I would do if I were him is probably just play Twilight Drake now. and try to curve out and save things like the coin. Obviously, he could bait out the coin with the, or bait out the rolling, the +2 health paladin secret with the coin, and if it's not, he plays the rolling fireball. But if it is, like, what does that leave him with? Say he plays the Twilight Drake for a big minion, and then it's the other guy's turn. So, on 5 mana, probably... Oh, interesting. I was going to say, I'd probably just shield a Galakron to defend here and bamboozle and get a big minion. But he's probably going for a big Edwin play here with the discovering spells and shadow steps. So this is why, like, I'm explaining why these things are happening, and I'm saying that I would probably in some of these situations make different plays than what he's doing, and there's a reason why he's a pro and I'm not, but I'm trying to explain like why he's doing these things, if that makes sense. So even though my initial thing was to play on curve with the Shield of Galakron, getting a 6/6 Edwin out definitely makes sense as well. Usually I try to get greedy with Edwin and try to have a ton of stuff, but like he knows that there are a lot of 0-cost spells, or at least a couple like high impact ones for rogues, so he's going for them and trying to utilize them to get Edwin off. Probably what I would take here is probably Plague of Madness to kill off a big thing, but I could see Sap as well. Sap, yeah, that makes sense. The only downside with the other one is that he would get benefit from it. Blackjack Stunner, probably returning that, and then playing a big Edwin just for tempo. And the reason why, now looking back on these plays and watching these things happen, the reason why this is way better than the Shield of Galakron is even though you don't necessarily know what you would have gotten from this, and so, like, you could think, okay, this guy made the objective right play to get a 10/10 Edwin. He didn't know he was going to get a 10/10 Edwin, right? He needed to discover the spells to get that, otherwise it would have been a 6/6, and he'd still have a 4/9 on the board. So, this play ended up working really, really well for him just in general, like, enough to probably win him the game here. Like, I'm going to go out on a limb and say he wins the game based on the tempo generated from this play, but I'm not sure. But it's still a 6/6 and all that is better than, say, a Shield of Galakron. I personally still might have played the Shield of Galakron because I know this is Bamboozle, and getting an 8-drop if I high roll and get like a Tyrion also could have been potentially game-winning. So that's just a difference of opinion, but obviously this worked out really, really well for him, and that's just what was going on in his head when he did it. That's good, but then he probably coin rolling fireballs it. Okay. But you see, this guy's entire turn right now was literally just damage control. And then Edwin revives. Not a huge deal. He's just a 2/2. It's not that big of a deal. But this turn, some people like the Faceless Corruptor for tempo. I personally don't. I like using it as a response, especially considering I can easily get 2/4/4 rushes out with a lackey. So here, I would probably play Galakron or Secret and try to develop more of those, because I actually think that could really work, because now that you have 6 mana, you can actually really snowball that. You have no target for backstab, so how do you really like trigger the Evil Miscreant? He could do like 2 secrets in Evil Miscreant, but personally, I would try to go for like a big ton of secret plays here, because he already has like a ton of these things in hand. He's already behind. If you play these secrets that he's going to have to like mind game and play around, then you're going to be just up, not just on tempo on board, but like mental as well. And that's something that's pretty important in this game from like experience, especially if you can utilize secrets. He could go for another Redemption or a Portal. Snake Trap's just bad. I probably would go with another Redemption just in case, like depending on what he kills, he'll have to like ping it off again. Or if, like, Doomsayer, he gets that off, then he'd have to do something with it. So I'd probably go with that. He goes with a 4-cost minion. Now you have to think, maybe he did it simply because of the class, right? To play mind games to make him think, okay, maybe this was a counter spell, and it's just, like, more mind games. Because if it's a Paladin, it's literally going to be Redemption or the Never Surrender +2 health every single time. But with Mage, it could be any number of things. So that could have literally been like a mind game kind of play. Obviously, he got Redemption later, and it was an immediate pickup. I think that the 2 choices that he had between the Neverwind and the Redemption were very close. That's why he hesitated a little bit. And another reason why I would have gone with Redemption is because it would have left me more mana up to make a choice for my next secret. But obviously, taking that not only means that he has another class of secret out on the board that he has to somehow play around, but it's also just a really good one where if he plays something, he's going to have to respond. And then he gets a big board. And I guess developing a board is really important into this matchup. Because the mage, when they hit like late game with Calicos and Reno, it can entirely change the game. So he generated some tempo, drew some cards. It's really nice for him. His board is full. There's nothing he can really do to interact with it, so he's probably just going to play a ton of secrets this turn. Like, I don't see what else he really does here. Maybe weapon up if he feels like he has too many secrets, but there's literally nothing else to do. He could think that this... Sorry. Actually, I need to get better at this because I know that this is Ice Barrier, but he doesn't. So I need to think about what he's thinking too. He's probably thinking that could be Flame Ward. So what I would do if I were him is play the play one secret now, so I have 5 mana up, and then if that is Flame Ward, play Shield of Galakron, redevelop. And that's exactly what he's doing. Then he's probably going to test for the secret, and then when he realizes it's not anything important, he's going to play Shield of Galakron. Or then, yeah, see, he's testing it now because he's like, okay, I can recommit with Shield of Galakron, like I just said. Or, if it's not, I can just start playing a ton more secrets, and that's exactly what he's doing. Now he's committing to the more secrets play, and there are only so many more secrets he can get, actually. Noble Sacrifice isn't bad. In fact, if he gets attacked, it doesn't... Oh, Counterspell. I would probably go with Counterspell here. Actually, I didn't see Pressure Plate. I'd still probably go with Counterspell. I think that's higher impact, and that's what he chose, yeah. They can go face with everything, and then... Now he has to worry because around turn 6 could have been a big turn for him because he knows he has a dragon in hand, and he could have had the Dragon Caster potentially, and he could have made a big play that turn. He didn't, so now that signals to him, okay, he doesn't have Dragon Caster. He might still have the big spells, but now he knows that if it didn't come out turn 6, it won't come out turn 7, unless he top decks Dragon Caster. So he doesn't really have to worry about anything right now. I really don't know what Bozzzton's going to do next turn, actually. I think that it's very interesting to think about, though, because, like, what would you do in this situation, right? Would you kill off one of your own minions with Backstab to help you generate a board? I have no water left, so we're going to be parched for the rest of this. That's fine. Doomsayer gets sniped. He can fairly easily respond to that, but here's the thing, right? Here's why I think the Doomsayer was kind of a silly play. Most of these things were going to die to this anyway. There would have been 1 or 2 things that would have survived, but then I might have played Malagos there, right? Because I have a dragon, I generate some resources. Because the Doomsayer, I feel like this is repetitive. Like if I were him, I'd just entirely ignore the ignore the Doomsayer and just smack face with as much, oh my goodness, damage as I can. Praise Galakron on something, probably the 1/4. And if he does, that means he might commit to trying to kill the Doomsayer because he wants that to live. Not entirely sure yet. Let's see what I would do probably at this point. I don't know. This is an interesting spot to be in. He's running out of time, and I have to pause to like think because I'm stressed for this guy. Backstab, potentially hit. Backstab your own minion. Faceless Corruptor to hit this. Because you have to think, right? What do they play turn 8? What spells, what big spells could a mage have to wipe your board at this point, right? Again, like I said, if he didn't have Dragon Caster the turn before, he has to top deck it now. And then, sure, he could have Box. But at this point, he knows that 8 mana is probably going to be Power of Creation or Deep Freeze. Right? Those are the 2 options for 8 mana that they generally have. It could also be a Blizzard. But I feel like this turn, if he's going to play a Doomsayer, I feel like he could have committed to a Blizzard as well. I'm not sure. So he might be thinking he might not have a Blizzard. So I don't know. Personally, I might backstab my own minion, kill this off, and generate a board. And just force the mage to have a response as quickly as possible, right? In this case, I might actually use the Faceless Corruptor to generate tempo and kill the Doomsayer and still be able to do maximum damage. Wow, dude, I'm so good at this game. I know exactly what they're going to do. Oh, my God. And, well, maybe he might play... No, he's going to play the... this big brain, because then he does it on the Lackey, which is the smallest thing. He kills off the Doomsayer, continues to have board pressure, and he knows that the removal that Mage has at this stage of the game is fairly limited, right? It's Reno, potentially Calicos, there's Box, there's Rolling Fireball, maybe Blizzard, but not everybody runs it, and since I don't have this guy's exact list, there's a chance that Viper doesn't even have the, what's it called? Doesn't even have the thingamabob. I'm not sure if this is how the interaction works, but because the laser beam went from this side to that side, this was the first thing that died, so I think that's the interaction and why Hanar revived, but I'm not entirely sure. But anyway, Power of Creation, that's really his only hope. Hoping for, like, a card to... Really? I feel like I'd hope for a card to Defender over any of these things. I guess Frost Nova does stall. But, like... Yeah, it stalls. It's definitely good. Kills the weapon as well. Card to Defender. Like, I definitely see where he was going for that. It was a gamble. It was, I think, a 1 in 8 chance to get Frost Nova, which was the perfect one. Like, the only one that would save him there. Whereas this, I could see some other big taunt minion saving him. Right? Like, the 4/5 Divine Shield taunt or Card to Defender. I could see both of those saving him. But I don't know. It was just a difference of opinion. He was also able to destroy the weapon and develop some board pressure. So, it did a little bit more for him. It dealt with more options. Because, like, this way, he would have had to, This way, by killing the weapon and having this, it plays around, like, potentially having a deal 2 damage Lackey or something to finish him off, I guess. So, everything's also damaged, so he can't backstab his own minion this time either. Backstab the 3/2, Evil Miscreant set up for later. Probably weapon up, hit face, though. So he probably is not, or 7 mana that he wants to use. And then playing a ton of secrets. Yeah, that makes sense. Probably go with Dirty Tricks again to draw more cards, because Rogue has limited card draw other than this. He has a lot of cards and lackeys already, but I still probably would choose Dirty Tricks here. But yeah, the secrets playing to try to get the last bit of Valley out of Hanar is good. But I don't know. I might want to chip 2 damage. Because, like, think about it. If you end up playing some Lackey, or you discover some Lackeys and you get the one that does 2 damage, you want to have this to hit his face. So what I would do is that, I can't see which one that one is, but it's the Portal. Shield of Galakron is the big minion to protect. Makes sense. And then, like I said, he did want to backstab the 3/2 to limit pressure. That makes a lot of sense as well. I guess the Shield of Galakron still gives you a Lackey, so it makes more sense than the Evil Miscreant. Ooh, he got Zephyrus. Does this save him? This into maybe Brawl? He doesn't know that this is Counterspell, but he's probably thinking, like, Brawl's the only thing that helps him. But since Brawl only takes a little bit of mana, he's going to want to bait out a Counterspell with the Arcane Breath. So he's probably going to try to target a 4/2 with that real quick, see what secret it is, and then play Zephyrus so he can actually, like, utilize it, you know? I might hit with the 2/8 because it's more likely to live. I'm not entirely sure how much that really matters if I'm going to Zephyrus anyway. But if I hit with the 2/8, when that gets made bigger... Wow. Okay, the 2/8 would not have lived to that either. My god. But no. No, you have to play the Arcane Breath. Okay, fine. Play Zephyrus. He's going to look for... See, this is another reason why you might have wanted to keep the other things. Shadow Flame would have been able to kill off the other things. But anyway, probably Shadow Flame. No! You bait out with Arcane Breath because you have it in hand, and he has a secret. That's a mage secret. You have to... Oh, no. Definitely a misplay on Viper's part. Do I think he would have won that game regardless? No. I think that he was still going to lose that game just because of how much tempo Bozzzton had. But I do think that that particular play was a misplay, and he definitely needed Arcane Breath there. Okay, I think that this is Highlander versus Highlander mirror match. I find it hard to believe that he's going face, although the dream is alive, because these are all face hunter cards. So, you know, if it's face, this is actually a good matchup into Highlander Hunter. And it doesn't really tell you what deck they're using. So this is all based on speculation. But in terms of keeping cards, I'd get rid of Unleash. Probably keep Scavenger's Ingenuity. And with him, oh my god, you get rid of Varanus. These two are really, really good. And I'd even keep the Apex just as a way of rushing into a Fairy Dragon in case he had one. Because that way you'd get value trade. Doesn't keep the 2/3. Maybe I just overvalue the the Spewer. Okay, so it's Highlander. Dream's dead. He got Brand. Definitely not. He's playing a good deck. But I don't know. I don't mind having a couple of 3-drops in my hand. I really like it. Okay, so anyway, he's probably going to play the 5/4. That makes the most sense. He's going to play Fairy Dragon. Oh, he drew his own Imprisoned Felmaw. Okay, so he plays Imprisoned Felmaw. That's just objectively better. Their opening hands look pretty similar. Animal Companion. Ooh, okay. So, since he can't really get a lot of value out of Fairy Dragon, he just gets to trade in. And Zixer just immediately dies. I might Desert Spear here and set up to coin Faceless Corruptor next turn. So he's probably not going to attack this turn. He's going to save the charges, hit with it, coin Faceless Corruptor next turn in order to just maximize damage output. Now he's going to get weapon removal. Oh no. Viper wins this, 100%. There's absolutely no way he comes back from this at this point. What? Oh my god, Viper's pissed. Viper's so mad. Viper is absolutely fuming. He increases his health by 2. I'd say increase the 4/4's health by 2 because that's a taunt minion. That's the one that he's going to have to hit first. Yes. There you go. That makes sense. So now if he does end up making that play, it's just objectively worse. If the 5/4 hits that, ooh, okay. So this literally screws up all of Bozzzton's plan. Like, sure, killing the spear probably would have been better than giving health, but giving this health so that the Faceless Corruptor doesn't kill it is absolutely devastating. And he's got to do it anyway. He's got to make the trade, and then he's going to hit this into that, and then this into that. Wow. That was definitely not the way he saw that going. Ooh, okay. So they both had the boom pistol. He plays the boom pistol now. I don't really like that play, because if you think about it, what? No, I guess it could have been Rottenest Drake, but why? What would he have wanted to Rottenest Drake here? The 2/3 would have been a waste. So I feel like that was good because it stops Rottenest Drake and Big Ol' Whelp. But if I were him, I'd play it turn 6 before the Brand turn. So that way he can't play Brand if he has it. And Bozzzton will probably end up doing that. He'll probably play the boom pistol next turn to slow down a Brand play and get stuff out himself, which means that Animal Companion makes sense along with Fairy Dragon. I might have played Zixer actually and traded in here, but killing off the 5/5 makes sense if he wants to play slow. Are you gonna kill the 5/5? Interesting. Okay, that makes sense. I understand why he did what he did. Right, the reason why he wanted to trade in there is simply because of the fact that, like, the 5/5's a pretty big threat, and the 4/2 can probably be fairly easily dealt with, especially since he ended up drawing Corrosive Breath. He didn't know that he had Corrosive Breath, but just in case, it would have been pretty bad. Although I think killing the 2/3 and leaving up some stuff and going for face damage would have been good. But no, yeah, killing off the 5/5 is a safer play, and right now Bozzzton's playing not to lose, which is fine considering the position he's in. But at some point, he's got to play to win. Or he might end up just losing. If I were him, I'd probably play Fairy Drake. Yeah. Trade in, go face, apply pressure. If I were him this turn, I'd play Boom Pistol. Like, you can play Varanus, but think about it, man. You know that Brand could come out next turn. You can already kill off the 3/2. I would have played Boom Pistol. Obviously, I know that he has Brand. But I also know that as a Highlander Hunter player, like, you guys know me, I play Highlander Hunter a lot. That's the deck that I use to get to Legend when I don't get super tilted and quit ranked for a season just to, you know, relax. I know that turn 7 is absolutely pivotal. And if you watch me play the Bomb Warrior with Rarin, I specifically told him that turn 7 is a massive power play. So when I was playing Bomb Warrior, I was like, I have to play Wrench Caliber. Because if I don't play Wrench Caliber turn 4 or at least 5 and get 2 bombs in his deck, then he's going to play Bran and kill me. And what happened is the guy played Bran on 7 and didn't realize he had 2 bombs in his deck and ended up losing. But the point is, doing that and stalling out that Bran for a little bit can be absolutely pivotal. So on turn 7, if you can stall out Bran for a turn and maybe set up, I would have done it. Also, CMAT exists on turn 7, but now he's going to play Bran and win. Do I think that Bozzzton would have lost this game anyway? No, yeah, probably. I think that this was fairly set in stone for Viper to win. But, I mean, just because the Bran play and the fact that he had tempo the entire time, he got out the Imprisoned Felmaw first. Bozzzton's thinking, like, can I get out of this somehow? I can play Bran, trade into his Bran. What does Zephyrus give me? Like, if Zephyrus gives me Brawl, then technically I'm not dead yet because he could, like, just hero power me, and he already used his Zephyrus. So theoretically I can live if I play Zephyrus Brawl after hitting face with the 7/6, of course, but then he's going to lose to the Corrosive Breath, so nothing saves Bozzzton here, but the only thing that could is probably Zephyrus. Unless he just wants to push for damage for the memes. I mean, I guess. Saving Zephyrus? I don't know. Like, trading in there makes sense. He could have done that as well. But I feel like playing Zephyrus would have just been better. Ha! I didn't even realize you could do it that way. Wait. Does it reset it? Oh my gosh, wait. When you switch, it resets the hero power so you can hero power twice. Wait, that's sick. That's an interesting interaction. Like, I low-key might put this in my Highlander Hunter deck after watching this. That's actually really interesting. No, wait. Was it not activated? Because it looks like when he switches this, his reactivates to give to him. So I'm assuming this one would reactivate and be given to me. Also, this could be really, really good into Demon Hunter to take Metamorphosis. But no, yeah, Viper won that simply based off of Oh no, I think Bozzzton wins this. My record into Highlander Mage as Highlander Hunter is like 70%. So if this holds true, Bozzzton is favored to win this. And if anything, I learned that 3/2 Epic dude actually might be decent in my deck. But I'm not sure if I'm actually gonna put it in. But in this hand, sorry, I'll just base on what I might keep Kartuk Defender here. I know as a mage player, I'm not going to do anything early game, really. So, escape Mana Saber, then turn 5, play Kartuk Defender for defense, because I already know I'm going to take a ton of damage from the mage. I might keep Kartuk Defender. Power of Creation's definitely gone. With him on the coin, I'd keep Bran on coin. Felmaw, obviously. Zixer's decent turn 3. Boom Pistol Bully? I might get rid of it, because mage doesn't have that many minions in the deck. So he gets rid of the Kartuk Defender. Okay, he has other defensive options in the deck, obviously, but I feel like Kartuk Defender is a fine card to keep into Hunter. I do it sometimes. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's a personal preference kind of thing, but I don't know. 3-drop, obviously. He's going to play the Imprisoned Felmaw. Dude, this guy's turn 3 is set. He's so flexible. He can do absolutely anything. I'd probably play Zixer here to trade into the 3/2, though. To keep it alive. Like, what else would he really do here? Yep, Zixer keeps his guy alive. Yes, it still ends up dying to this dormant minion, but, like, who cares about that, really? Like, it doesn't really matter. Right, he got the value out of it. He might be able to hit one more time for some damage. A little bit of a bummer, but that's fine. What does that hit? Oh, sucks. Now, let's see here. What would I do? Would I play Diving Griffin this turn? And hit the 2/1. Because, like, think about it. If you do that, you can push for 2 damage, and Mage has very limited heals, so if you push, every little damage counts. Or alternatively, you just kill it and hero power, but that's a really slow turn. Like, I mean, obviously I want to save the coin for Bran, so I don't want to coin anything out. So if I do nothing, it's literally just a hero power turn. But Diving Griffin, so hit, Diving Griffin, no. You can't hit first, because Diving Griffin, you want that to draw maybe Zixer or Faceless. Oh, this is a rough turn. I'd probably Diving Griffin and push 2 damage. Actually, no, wait, why? You're going to do 2 damage either way? No, yeah, I'd Hero Power, actually. I'd just trade the 2-1 in and Hero Power. There's no reason to do really anything else. I mean, I guess Alexstrasza is insane, right? You take Alexstrasza here. The game's going to go late. Yeah, of course, boom. The 2-3, now I wasn't considering the 2-3 because it doesn't push damage or really do anything proactive. Like, it does live, but he just pings it off, potentially. Like, obviously, he's going to play the Escape Mana Saber instead and not ping it off when this lives, and you get 2 damage anyway. I guess it also gets to kill off the 4-5, theoretically. Like, it puts him in a really awkward spot. But, like, yeah, he could easily just ping this, leave himself with a 4-5 on the board, and not really have to do that much of anything. Like, you essentially just sacrificed a minion when you could have done 2 damage. I don't know. I probably would have ended up playing the 2-3 as well, or just Hero Powering, because I realized the Diving Griffin play was bad. But, I don't know, man. The 2-3, leaving it at 1 health, it just gets pinged. I mean, I guess it makes sense. I never really thought about it, but yeah, he's just going to play a 3-drop and ping it. I mean, that makes the most logical sense. Obviously, he's kind of sad that he can't Escape Mana Saber now and then hit and play Seam at turn 7 or turn 6, but he can play the Tortilla Pilgrim as well. Like that, that's a good play, actually. Hold up. I said in a bad way, but that's actually a really good play because this is the same reason why I think Viper should have saved Boom Pistol for Bran in the last game. He knows that Dragoncaster could come out turn 6, so playing this potentially stops that. And yeah, sure, he gets to play the 3-5 and potentially trade in to limit damage, but essentially that doesn't really do that much for him, right? It just doesn't. Like, no, it doesn't. I mean, he gets on the board, he trades in. He's not able to play Dragoncaster. And yes, Viper didn't have Dragoncaster, but this was the best play for Bozzzton at the time. And then he trades in probably so he doesn't take damage. Every point of damage matters. I'd coin out Bran here. Just objectively, like, the best play you can make at this point, right? You can't use Varanus to kill anything off. You can't rush and deal with this minion. It doesn't die to Flame Ward, so if anything, it baits Flame Ward out as well. I'd just coin out Bran here, but let's see what he does. I'm not sure, though. Bran, I guess he could play 2 3-drops, but what does that really accomplish him? You're playing 2 3-drops? Interesting. I guess he's playing Bran 7 and coining out Alexstrasza. I don't know. I think Bran is too big of a swing to not do something with. Like, on 6. Like, how does he respond to it on turn 6? I mean, I guess turn 7 for him. I guess Deep Freeze, since he drew it, would have been really good. Really? He did end up drawing Deep Freeze, which kind of sucks. So now he plays Bran. And then next turn probably is Varanus Unleash the Hounds. Now that I think about it. Simply based on the board that he's probably going to generate here. So Bran hit face. Then he's going to Alexstrasza his face. Potentially go face, actually. And then he's going to Unleash the Hounds with Varanus. Kill off everything. And he's going to think he's secure, too. Because he has Siamet and the Pilgrim. So that's just my prediction of how the next few turns are going to go. Really? You're not playing Bran? What? Bran is just so much... I mean, I guess you get to kill the 3-1 off here so he doesn't get to, like, ramp up. But he still has 8 mana. Like, 8 mana is still huge. I don't know. I guess it's better than Dragon Queen Alexstrasza. It's definitely better than Dragon Queen Alexstrasza. I don't know. I know that saving the coin was good because he has 2 turn 9 plays. But I really feel weird not playing Bran here. Like, that's so weird. And he just, like, lifted it up. He was considering Bran for a long time there. And maybe that's the difference between a player like him and a player like me. And why he's, like, a professional and I'm just, like, get legend most seasons when I don't get tilted. But I probably would have played Bran there and pushed some damage. Forced him to deal with it. Now he plays this, probably Divine Shield Wind Furies as a win condition. Or Rush. Yeah, that makes sense too. He gets to kill that, and then hit face. But since his board isn't that big, I'd probably just play... Ooh, this is interesting. Zixer or Alexstrasza. Or Unleashed Hound's Varanus is also viable. I don't know if I'd do that now, though. Like, I might have wanted to save it for potentially bigger minions and just play Alexstrasza because I'm not going to die and be greedy. But this keeps his board alive, so it's probably better. Oh, no. Okay. He has to play Bran this next turn. There's no way he doesn't. But yeah, the turn 9 Alexstrasza-ing his face is just the best play that he can make right now. You know what? Now I've been convinced. Maybe play Zixer, double rush in, smack face, force him to have a response. He plays Reno, then he plays Bran or Dragon Queen Alexstrasza the next turn. So, yeah. Like, he wants to play Alexstrasza, but he knows turn 10 could be Box or Reno, so it's dangerous. He could play Bran, but he has to kill this 8/8 off somehow, and he wants to save the charge for direct damage. So he's playing the Zixer Prime to trade into this, push for 7. Say, okay, Viper, have a response to this, because if you don't, I'm setting up close to lethal in the next couple of turns. Now he has Reno. Oh my god, Kalikos into Box next turn is insane. But this turn he plays probably... Oh my god, he has 2 Alexstrazzas. Probably an Alexstrasza just because he has a second one now. Like, there's no reason to hold back. Like, I might not even hold back dragons. Probably just Onyxia, though. I don't know if he'd want to play the 3/2 and Onyxia. Puts cards in his hand, but, like, it's kind of not efficient, right? Like, if he does wipe the board again, having a free 3/2 that you can just put out is nice, and Onyxia fills your board, and you would lose one of the 1/1s. So playing Onyxia right now makes sense. Wow. So let's see here, just to recap as much as I can here. He didn't play Bran turn 6 like I thought. He decided to play 2 3-drops to survive. Then turn 7... I just want to go back and watch this guy as well. Turn 7, sorry. He decided to play 2 3-drops again and not be mana efficient and kill this off. Interesting. I understand why. I just feel like the Diving Griffin into the 3/2 was, like, wasteful. I guess it got him a card. But no, yeah, that adds up. Bran, I feel like, could have been good here. He would have traded a thing in. He could have potentially killed it with, like, this and Siamat as well. But I guess I understand where he was coming from to kill the 3/1. Because getting to 9 mana would mean Alexstrasza, either of them, actually. And if he did hit Alexstrasza, he could have gone down to essentially 6 health immediately on that turn alone, which would have been really, really bad for him. So I guess playing around both the Alexstrazzas this turn and holding onto the coin, he did take a while with this turn, so that's probably what he was thinking about. He was like, Bran or board control. Then turn 8 was the Zix, or turn 8 he coined that out to clear the board, which makes sense. Dude, maybe I just love Bran too much, but I might have... Obviously, he's the pro player, so if you're ever in this situation, like literally exactly verbatim the same thing, go with the plays he's making. I'm just saying that as a player, at least, would I have Zixered last turn or this turn instead? Like, I might have Zixered this turn instead and double trade and left 2 things up with it 1 and save this to kill off the Alexstrasza play. But the Zixer, it ended up working out for him, obviously. But that's just a slight difference of opinion. Like, I really value Varanus Unleash the Hounds. It will wipe the board of literally anything all the time. So, using it to kill a just mediocre board felt weird to me. And the other thing would have left him with the 4/2 or 2 4/1s. It's kind of bad, I guess. It's better. It's not as good as a 7/6, so I'm going to say that he made the right play there. Trying to kill them off and leaving himself with a 7/6 and saving the Zixer. Because Zixer can deal with most things as well. But Kalikos into Box. He discovers a box. He probably takes the box. He plays his own. Now, the reason why this is kind of important is because this could be literally anything. So he has no information on it other than it's a mage spell. But the other box right here is a card that he knows, like, could be in his deck, right? Like, he knows that this card exists, so playing this one means that, like, there's less cards that he has to think about, right? Like, him playing this, and he has 17 cards in deck and 3 in hand. So if he played this box, he'd be like, okay, he has 17 cards left in his deck and 3 in hand, or 17 cards left in total, I guess. That means there's a 1 in 17 chance that he still has another box of Yogg-Saron. But this way, it leaves him no information on that. It could be literally anything. That's pretty bad. That's not great. That's okay. That pushes some damage. That's really bad. That's really, really bad. That does nothing. Wow. The equality's super nice if he had any more mana. Oh. And he has to hit the taunt. If he brands here, wait, is that lethal? Hold up. I'm trying to do math. 8, 24, 29 with Stormhammer. That should be lethal, right? What? What? Hello? I have not watched this video, but I'm assuming that's lethal. That's why they cut. Like, this is 16, 24, 26 plus 5, 31 damage, plus Hero Power or Stormhammer. That is lethal. And then they switch over to this for some ungodly reason. What the heck? Okay, so they literally just skipped the first 2 turns. I didn't get to see what they kept and what they didn't keep, but this guy, Viper, is determined to win on that Highlander mage. If I were him, coin Twilight? In order to have board pressure? That makes sense. The Doomsayer was able to get off, so that's nice. Did he play the 1-2 weapon into Doomsayer? Ah, yes, he did that to set up the Satyr Overseer, which is just objectively really good. He saved a charge, which means that now he's actually going to be able to Glavebound Adept on turn 5, which is insane. So I'm learning a lot from this as well, by the way. Like, I'm learning that I'm really greedy with Bran, right? Like, that's just, I know that I've talked about that a lot, but that's just one thing that I'm learning as a player. And just because Bran's insane, I need to realize that, like, I can't always play him on curve. Obviously, my win rate with Highlander Hunter is like 60%, so I know most of the things. But in those cases, maybe being less greedy with the Varanus plays is correct. And maybe being less, like, trigger happy with Bran is probably good as well. But anyway, the 1 extra mana, I'm assuming you Sigil Runner here to draw a card and cycle. I feel like that's just objectively really good. Like, Hero Power, and what does that get you? Nothing, really. You just Sigil Runner here, right? Like, you push 2 more damage. But no, yeah, you Sigil Runner here and draw a card. An I-Beam? Okay. Not bad. Gets a 2-2. He might just Cone of Cold. Oh, that's gross. No. That wouldn't really work. So he's going to play that. Trade the 4-6 into the 4-2 so he doesn't take more damage and doesn't generate more things. Cone of Cold? That's an interesting card. I guess it works really, really well. Hold up. He wants to save it for this combo to kill 2 things. That's actually maybe sick. But then he hits again. Glavebound Adepts his face and hits his 4-2 with his 2-2. Or maybe he Twin Slices, trades into this now that he drew the Twin Slice. Kills that, leaves minions on board, Glavebound Adepts his face, yeah. If I were him, if I didn't have Twin Slice, I would have just traded 1-1 weapon, 2-2 alive, 6-4 alive, go face. And now he's sitting here like, God, do I really have to play the combo now? No, it wouldn't even be a combo yet. He's going to have to just play the Cone of Cold to keep himself from taking damage this turn, because if he doesn't, he's going to die. He draws the Warglaves. I feel like Warglaves is just the best play here, right? It pushes a lot of damage. Hero Power, you don't want to use the Twin Slice. There's no reason to yet. Hit face, push damage, and we'll see where he goes. Viper, on the other hand, is in a pretty big pickle, because he kind of has to ping the 6-1. There's no other way around it. He has to kill it off. But then that leaves him with only 4 mana. Where do you go from there? You can't conjure calling this. Oh, excuse me. Because this is just objectively a really good minion. For 3 mana? You don't want to get another cost to that, so he can't do anything. He's left with that. And just based off of what I'm seeing now, I think that Bozzzton's going to win. 3-2, sees what is on top. If I were him, I'd probably go with Spectral Sight to draw more things and look for something like Metamorphosis or Altruist. Beaming Sidekick, he only has a 3-2 on the board and no high impact minions, so Beaming Sidekick isn't important. The Bronze, the Frozen Shadow Weaver is the next best call. So I'd say like 60-40 Spectral Sight, and then 40 is the, yeah, 40 would be the minion. But Spectral Sight, going to be the next thing he draws. It's also guaranteed Outcast, which allows him to draw some stuff. Which means, oh, you Twin Slice, Hero Power, hit, and then hit face and leave his 3-2 alive and push maximum damage. Or do you hit the 3-2, then hit again? Because I didn't realize he had 3 charges. I thought he only had 2, so I thought it was going to be hit here. But since he has that many charges, I'd hit the 3-2 and then hit face and then just equip a new weapon, I guess. Because you already know you're going to draw more resources next turn, so why let him have that minion on the board? Boom, hit face, and then Umberwing, and then pass. Got him down to 11. Next turn, it's probably going to be Spectral Sight at least, and then maybe Skull of Gul'dan, depending on what he builds. Or depending on what he draws. Yeah, he needs that. I don't know what he needs from it, though. Potentially, ugh, disgusting. Probably the Tome, because it generates resources, or Flame Strike, just in case he builds a board, but I don't foresee that being impactful. Like, I'd probably just go with the Tome. Polymorph the 3-2. I guess he does have, like, nothing left. Like, he can't afford to take any more damage. Skull of Gul'dan's better than Spectral Sight here. Ideally, what I would have done is Spectral Sight and Skull of Gul'dan. Drawn 5 cards, probably been able to place some of them anyway. But I guess just Skull of Gul'daning is pretty decent as well. But I don't know necessarily like what extra stuff it draws him. I wouldn't play anything here. I'd wait for an Altruist play. I'd probably wait literally till next turn and just kill him next turn. Like, in hand, he has pretty much lethal. I wouldn't play anything here. I'd just go face, Hero Power, do all that jazz. I wouldn't even play the Battle Fiend. I wouldn't even play the Battle Fiend here. The Battle Fiend would die most likely to something, whether it be Rolling Fireball or Blizzard or anything else. So now Altruist into I-Beam, Spectral Sight, Warglaves, this, and then whatever cheap things potentially he draws as well could be massive. This guy runs Antonidas. Interesting. Dude, I want to run Viper's deck. Has it won a single game? No. Do I still want to play it? Absolutely. 4 I-Beam or that, then I-Beam, Warglaves, push tons of damage and just kill him with all of this, yeah. Yeah, like I said, saving the Altruist for the next one and then smacking him in the face depending on what he drew. And he drew some more direct damage, so Bozzzton ended up winning. I hope that this helped. I hope it gave you some insights into how things work. And like what's going on in these people's heads when they're playing it and why they're waiting till certain turns to do it. I think that Viper misplayed a couple of times, but nothing too major. Like in the game where he misplayed the most, I think he was gonna lose either way. And then in the game where there was a game where he misplayed and played the Boom Pistol a turn early, I feel like. But even then, I don't think it was that big of a misplay. Like, it was a choice call for tempo, and he ended up winning it anyway, so it didn't matter because he still got his, like, Brannoff first or whatever. But anyway, I think that Bozzzton played very well. I think that they both played very well. I feel like I definitely would have misplayed more than either of these two guys, but I hope that this brought some insight to you guys, and I hope you guys liked it. If it's something that you want to see in the future, please let me know, and I think that is it. I think I'm just going to watch more in the future. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. See you in the next one. And sorry for no editing. This is just an entirely new thing, and I want to see how you guys like it.